now streaming on YouTube. It says that. Yay. All right.
All right.
It's official.
All right. It looks like it's coming up. So we'll go ahead. We will. Yep. It looks like it just came up.
Good.
All right. Let me now.
Official.
All right. It looks like it's coming up. So we'll go ahead and. Yep. It looks like it just came up.
Good.
All right. I have to change one more thing here.
Stop share.
All right, now we can start. I was getting feedback from YouTube back. Everything was playing back, so. Welcome everyone to the City Council meeting. Sorry for the delay here, but we're gonna move forward. I was getting a little nervous there. As always, the meeting will be live streamed to the Luna Pier YouTube channel. It will be recorded and available at cityoflunapier.com and the Luna Pier YouTube channel. As always, everybody knows by now, try to mute your mic if there's any background noise or any talking, but you can feel free to unmute anytime you say your comments. Mind your camera angle because this is live and everything is recorded. At this time, we'll open up the City Council meeting for August 27th, 2020. If you have comments, call this number 734-848-6495 for any public comment or any questions you have. We are monitoring that number live. So call in with any comments or questions. At this time, I think I'll ask Councilman Gramza, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Now we'll ask our clerk to do roll call.
Okay, Gramza,
Here.
Grimes is excused absent. Meadows,
Here.
Wakeman,
Here.
Anstett,
Here.
Russell,
Here.
Mayor Gardner.
Here. Thank you, Jolene. In your packet, you have the minutes of August 13th, the approval of the agenda and the bills of warrants. Now, we did have one extra one in the packet there, a little bit of a mix-up. We already passed 14040 last meeting. We didn't need to pass it again. So the correction was the 14041 and 14042 and the visa of 75673. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda and to include bills of warrant number 14041 paid in the amount of $8,100 even, and bills of warrant number 14041 unpaid in the amount of $89,239.39 as presented, and waiving the reading, and also the Visa payment in the amount of $756.73.
Okay. Thank you, Councilman Wakeman. I think we have support from Rich Russell.
Yep.
Any discussion?
Is that second bill of warrant number 14042? It's just a,
Yes,
Or is-
Yes, sorry. That I was just reading it off and I should have, yep, correction. Second bill of warrant number 14042 unpaid in the amount of $89,239.39 as presented, waive the reading. Thank you.
Okay, good catch. And Councilman Russell, you support? You. We have support. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion is carried. We do have a public hearing. Let me switch over. We're having a little technical difficulty, so let me give the screen to Amy Gardner.
I just shift it. Want me to shift it?
Go ahead.
Is that gonna work? Here we go.
Stay by your microphone.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Can we hear? There we go. Let me get our volume up a little bit here so we can hear each other. Okay. First of all, let me say thank you for allowing me to have time on the agenda tonight. Can everyone hear okay? Hear me okay? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm really excited to be with you this evening to share an update on the Luna Pier Farmers Market. When we first launched, we were told by our advisors that it would take 3 years to really get off the ground, and they were absolutely right. This is our third season for our outdoor market, and it's going fabulous this year. It really seems to have just exploded. We have a tremendous amount of vendor interest every week. I'm getting new vendors that are asking about receiving information. We've had an average of 10 to 12 vendors coming every Wednesday throughout the entire summer. And we even had our first biggest one ever of 17 vendors last Wednesday. And we were super excited about that. So we're finally on the radar of vendors. Vendors have told me that we are one of their favorite markets. They love our atmosphere. And they love the people of Luna Pier because we're just a friendly group of people. I've had several vendors tell me how friendly everyone here in Luna Pier is and how much they enjoy our market. One thing I'm really excited about as well is we have offered the market. I've had several teenagers and young children, even some elementary student, late elementary students, ask me about becoming vendors. And so as a committee, we have decided that we want to allow our young people in our community to have that experience as well. So we have a handful of teenagers and preteens who are weekly vendors. They do some baking. Some of them are an artist. They do little jewelry things. And I'm excited about giving these kids an opportunity to participate in marketing and sales and begin entrepreneurship. I mean, who knows where that will lead in their life. So we're really excited about that. And I think that's something unique to our market. I also wanted to let everybody know that our market is fully self-funded. We are funded through all of the vendor fees, but we're also funded through the table that the committee sets up. Every week, we are one of the vendors. We are the friends of the committee. If you're at that table, that is your Luna Pier Farmers Market Committee volunteers. And all the proceeds that we make at that table goes back to the market. And so our funds are first brought back to pay for any expenses at the market, but then all the funds that are over and above what we receive for beyond expenses, we are donating back to the city of Luna Pier, and especially so back to the Parks and Rec Commission. We have been really honored to be able to donate to the fire department, donate to the police department, and like I said, and donate to our Parks and Rec. We've donated about $3,000 in the last 2 seasons just to the Parks and Rec. And our committee, just recently, we were the ones who were able to provide the new benches that are in First Street Park. So we're super excited about that. This year, we are slated that we'll probably be able to donate somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000 at the end of the season to go back into the community. So we are excited about that, and that seems to be building. As we get more vendors in, we'll of course be able to get more funding that can come back to Luna Pier. Let's see. I wanted to thank everyone for your support, and we especially thank all of you for allowing us to be in First Street Park. It's a great location. People love it. This year we've wrapped around the playground a little more and it has spread out more, and we're getting a lot of positive feedback on that as well. I also want to give a shout out to our city workers. They are fantastic. every week they are on the ball and they make sure that the park is ready and prepared for everyone to be there. In fact, if we come earlier, they're like, oh, we didn't get the sidewalk swept yet, but they're really right there and able to keep the grass mowed and everything just pristine for our visitors. So I just wanted to thank everyone and give you an update. We're excited about the market and we're excited to see where it's going to go from here. Thank you.
Great news. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
Awesome job.
Thank you. Here's the mayor. Do you want me to plug this one? Yeah. Okay.
All right, now let me regroup here. I have to
Sorry.
stop the screen share for just a second to see Chief Ansel is trying to log in, but it's not quite working there. I wanted to check the waiting room, make sure he's not there, but I don't see him. This time I'll go ahead with the mayor's report. I always like to start out with our COVID-19 updates. We are working in the office. That is going well. I try to avoid any time that I don't have to be in there, not because I don't like our wonderful staff there. I try to get everything done outside or remotely, and it's working well. I think I've tried to be flexible, that let everybody get as much done outside of the office when they have to, and it's working out well. We're starting to work up with more meetings. We had a FEP meeting the other day with masks and distancing, and that went well. I can see where the council meetings are probably going to go back to online, because a meeting like today, when we want to invite more people, it just would not work. We'd have to have it outside, and that's just not real conducive. And then as the winter months come on, it's not gonna be possible. So this is gonna be our format for a little while, and we'll get better at it. We still have not been able to open up the restrooms, mostly because we don't have anybody to monitor and clean. And that is a tough job. You need somebody in town all the time, on call, and we haven't found anybody that's willing to do that right now. There are winners and losers in COVID-19. It's around, and it's going to be here for a while. If you notice, there's people that kind of react and people who are anticipating what's coming up, and they are showing a lot more success. We are surrounded by good leaders here with our council, and I'm sure we will anticipate problems. I heard of saying that good leaders are solving problems before others realize there's a problem to solve, and that's the mindset we really have to have. In a lot of ways, we're looking at the funding, any kind of extra COVID funding that is going to run out. It is already starting to taper off. That's going to run out. I am real reluctant. We've turned down some funding because it came with legacy costs, where we have to commit to kind of a long-term financial output to take advantage of the grant, and that's a deal breaker for us. We don't need to take on extra costs in the future, because this is really fluid still. We don't know what the next fiscal year is going to bring. But right now we are doing well. Just to point out on our bills and warrants, there's one of them that was $8,100 for a lawnmower. Over the last 60 days of revenue, if you notice, that it comes out of the line of parking revenue. And over the last 60 days, if we subtract the $8,100 for the lawnmower, we're still above our projected revenue for the entire year. And that's just for the last 60 days. And the 60 days before that were still very good as well. So we are way ahead on that And I figured, I feel that was a great investment because it's going to save us some money in the long run. We're looking at putting $2,000 to $3,000 into a broken down lawnmower. That does not make sense. So I think that's one way where we're anticipating the future when we spend like that. Fall will present some new challenges, especially for businesses. I think we really need to be in touch with our businesses, working with their needs. I do have a couple of meetings this week with some of our business owners at their request, just to talk over what they need and what their challenges are and how the city can be a part of that. I would like to see some of the committees start back up again because we've kind of hunkered down long enough, and we need to prepare for the future now. Now, what we do now is going to have a huge impact on how we come out of this COVID crisis. I was with Ford Motor Company long enough to know that when things were bad, Ford was really, really good. When things were good, Ford was horribly bad. And that is a cycle you don't want to keep repeating, but they seem to be very good at that. And I like the part about being good when everything's bad and sustaining that when things are good. But right now things are very challenging, and I think we can be at our best. And I think we really have been. And that's all I have for my mayor's report. Any questions? If not, we'll move on to department reports. And at this time, I'm going to stop my screen share. And we invited the John Zarb here and Chief Denias and Chief Ansel is trying to call in. I've got a message here. Let me check again. We'll keep trying to get him in. I'm going to turn it over to John Zarb, who has some grant information. If you want to take it over, John.
Hello. I would like to give the council an update on the grant situation here in our city. Quick background, I've never had a real chance to explain the grant process before, but we started, I was asked to help back in 2017 with the fire department, and I was very privileged and honored to do so. It resulted in a FEMA grant being submitted on behalf of the fire department in January of 2018. We did get $15,000 for training on that particular grant, so we got a little bit of traction. The next year, we submitted a FEMA proposal for thermal camera and a Jaws of Life, and that was denied. And in 2019, we presented a grant to AAA Insurance for 2 radars and a radio replacement program at the county level, and that was denied as well. So grants, as all of you know, are kind of a hit and miss, and you hope that you hit the keywords and hot buttons and can deliver something. In 2020, so far, we have submitted 6 grants. So we're getting more agile and getting more exposure to what's available, and 2 more are in progress. So in this year, we will have at least 8 attempts, and they're all in play right now. We have a $6,700, I'm sorry, a $3,100 resubmission to AAA on the radar speed sign. We have a barricade grant that we submitted to Lazy Boy in January for $9,500, and that's pending. And then we put in the 2019 FEMA grant for the Assistance to Firefighters grant, which is called the AFG grant. And Last Thursday, we received a call from Debbie Stavenaw's office saying that that grant had been approved. So we're very excited to tell you that news. The grant was for 11 self-contained breathing apparatus devices. We novices would know them as air tanks, harnesses, and face masks. We asked for $128,000, but FEMA only approved $77,000 because they believe that we can get better pricing, and the national average was $7,000 a unit. So we're happy to report that we have $77,000, of which we will have to match $3,667. And I thought the call was over, and then Debbie Stabenow's office said, and your second 2019 submission is also approved. Last May, we submitted a grant called the SAFER Grant, which is a program that FEMA has for the staffing for adequate fire and emergency response. The only thing you can do with that money is to help to staff your fire department and improve the fire department as much as you can. It's a non-equipment. So we were warned that the SAFER grants are, one, hard to get, and Adam Massengill, the fire chief in Bedford, said, I wouldn't waste your time because with the number of calls that your particular department does, it's unlikely. But we asked for $89,470 and we received 99% of it, $89,020. And I'll tell you what was included in that grant real quickly. This is a grant to try to staff up our volunteer fire department, something we've had a lot of trouble with. We've lost more in the last 5 years than we've added. So there's some things in here that are very, they're aimed to, keep the recruitment process going. We asked for 25 gift cards at $50 each per year for 4 years for a total of $5,000. These gift cards can be used for either existing firefighters or new firefighters for doing excellent work. So we've got $5,000 worth of gift cards. We have 5 service award plaques for each of the next 4 years at $50 each or $1,000. And this is an incentive to demonstrate we have people that have been on the department for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and this will be a real incentive. We received $44,170 to increase the stipend, the pay per call stipend that we give to the firefighters each time they respond to a call. At the time that we submitted this, we were only giving $5. The council has increased that to $15 as it was some years ago. This money will cover that for the next 3 to 4 years, actually 4 years. So that will relieve the city's budget, and it will also ensure that for the next 4 years, at least $15 a call. We have $9,600 for training for 8 recruits, on average 2 per year for the next 4 years. We have $1,600 for physical exams, which are necessary to join the department, for 8 recruits, 2 per year for the next 4 years. We have $3,000 to hire a recruitment professional to help create a strategy and a plan to do recruitment now and in the future. We have money for turnout gear and PPE for 2 recruits per year for 4 years at the rate of $20,000 total. This is the outfit that they'll need, and PPE and accessories of various sorts. We have $300 in for leadership training for the chief and the assistant chief so that they can increase their leadership skills. And lastly, we have $4,350 for a marketing program to be developed. We have money in there for a consultant. We have money in there for brochures and money in there for videos. So that came out to be $89,020. In total, we received last Thursday $166,020. The next steps on these two are Jim is going to coordinate a meeting with the fire chief and assistant chief and Jolene and himself and myself to go over the two contracts in detail, so we know what the parameters are in order to, FEMA is really tight about how they're going to allow us to conduct these grants, and they watch over it with real close attention. The only other thing that I'll mention is there's a firehouse sub-grant that was submitted July 11th for an automatic chest compressor for $18,000 that's pending. On behalf of the city of Luna Pier, we submitted a Michigan State Police COVID grant for 8 laptops, PPE, and to retro pay for the work that was done at City Hall to put restrictions in for the divider. And we have 2 other grants in process, one with the United States Department of Agriculture for 2 body cameras, 4 radars, and a speed sign for the police department. And just recently, we discovered a FEMA COVID-19 grant that is going to start in October. And this may be just perfect timing for us to replenish all the PPE that we need at City Hall, at the police department, at the fire department, and so forth. And that is only available to volunteer fire departments. So I think our probability is pretty good on that one. So net, things are looking pretty good in 2020 for city grant work. And now that we know a little bit of what we're doing, 2021 might even be better.
Thank
That's it.
you, John, so
God,
much.
awesome, man. That is incredible news.
That is
Amazing.
incredible.
Thank you, John.
You're all very welcome. I enjoy doing this work.
It
I
is
can
so
jump in for a second.
appreciated.
Can I jump in for a second?
Sure, Neil.
So John, we have grant writers where I'm employed, and they are very much the unsung heroes of a lot of the communities that they write grants for. We don't write grants for our own company. We write grants for communities, which happens to help us get work for them as well. So it's kind of a dual benefit there that we help them with grant writing, and they are the unsung heroes. So well done. I know it's a lot of work having to work with the people at our company. It's just an amazing amount of work and quite an art to get the wording down correctly to capture the right attention. So I think I speak for all of us. Just well done. You're learning the pros and the talent that it takes to do this, and our community couldn't benefit more. So thank you very much. A question I do have for you though is when they are knowing that they're very strict about how the funds get allocated to the right things, has someone been appointed to shepherd that along, so to speak, to make sure that it sits within someone's grasp that is monitoring the totality of it?
That's what the purpose of that meeting is, that Jim's going to be calling here in the next, maybe even this week or probably next week. For the 2017 grant, Neil, I did that. And since it was only $15,000 and it was training, it was not that big of a deal. It's going to be a lot more work and a lot more complicated with especially the SAFER grant. The AFG grant for 11 air tanks, harnesses, and face masks is fairly cut and dry. But the other one is going to be a lot of attention to detail. If you find a year from now that, boy, we asked for this, but I should have asked for that or this, you can submit amendments. And we did do that in 2017. And I don't know that this is always the case, but it seemed like approval wasn't that difficult. You have to rewrite your narratives, you have to put in explanations, and you have to essentially do a balance sheet and say what funds are not going to be spent and where do you consider them important to spend. We left $1,200 on the table in 2017, and we want to try not to do that because proportionately that was almost 10%. We don't want to give back $8,000 on that SAFER grant this year. So we'll let the mayor and the people who attend that meeting figure out the answer. But worst case scenario is it would be me. But we'll see what happens.
That's not the way we see it, John.
Thank you, John. Are there any other questions or comments? I think we can do like a round of applause like this since it's a little harder to see on Zoom. But John, thank you so much. It's hard to put into words how much we appreciate all the work that goes into that.
Mayor, could I jump in just for a second, please?
Sure.
This is Brett. I
Yep.
just want to say that the short time that I've been able to work with John, most of you know I've started, the process myself of working with grants, which I had never done before. He is inspirational. He's like a dog. He's going after it. And he's got me in that same mode. And it's been real refreshing working with him to see how he does it. And we've just landed, for the police department itself, we've just landed, this isn't necessarily grant money. It's coming through the COVID situation that we've been in. But we're talking quite a bit of money here to put in, to our budgets here. One was for over $4,000. Another one was for $2,700, and another one, the $2,700 we just got today or yesterday, I believe. Another one for $328, and they're all COVID related. These are funds that we can spend, from what I'm reading and what I'm following up on, we can spend for what we need them for. John's been working very closely with me to work on other grants outside and I got in here late, so I'm not sure if you'd spoken about the other ones that we are working on currently, but it's just been great, and we're going to keep plugging along and with as much as we got in us, and it's been a good time doing it. So I just want to lay that out there.
Thank you,
That's
Chief.
all I got.
Thank you,
Sure.
Chief. I think
Sure.
we'll, those are some great department reports. Good news that we really needed to hear. There is one other possibility that we have of some hazard pay too. That is 100%. It sounds like we did apply for it. It sounds like we have a really good chance of getting that. And that's for the firefighters and for the police officers. I don't want to get everybody's hopes up. I'll announce more when it's said and done, but it is a likelihood that we will be able to pay some bonus pay funded through the COVID-19 programs. This time, let me go back to sharing my screen here with there we go. Let me go back down to where if you look at the building report, that one is encouraging, and our department is ahead and getting a real good jump on next year's revenue as well. So with the project, you've seen Luna Pier School is pretty much down one chalkboard size area of a wall is still standing, but it's pretty much on the ground. We were able to salvage the headstone, or well, the capstone above the doorway that says Luna Pier School. We're not sure where we're going to put that. If you have ideas, if you want to solicit ideas from the community, we're open for discussion. Old business, we have none. The FEP committee did have a meeting. We talked about some of the emergency repairs. You see that on council action, financing some of the ongoing repairs that we already had in the works. They were already estimated. It's going to be difficult to access them with a high water, but this is the way it is. There's no better time than now. They are going to start on that emergency dike repair. We were able to do part of it ourselves and had a significant savings on what they quoted us initially. And they're working on one of the slabs that has to be completely replaced on top of the dike. It is a structural issue with the dike. It looks like one of the tiebacks actually pushed through. So it's a little more than just a pavement repair that we've done before where we had some deterioration of the surface. This is the entire slab is gone. It's broken apart. We need to fix that because that is part of the structure of the dike where that tieback anchors in. On the new business, the Mid-American Dike Repair, that's going to be up for, they quoted us 9,000, I think an 800. The FEP committee upped it to 10,000 to cover additional repairs. We know there are 2 or 3 of them in there that popped up since they were last here, and we want to try to cover those too while they're out here. And that may change again as they get going. We start counting the repairs and see how far they get. This should take care of just about everything. The budget, we have the resignation of Gary Walton from the Planning Commission because of scheduling conflicts. You have that letter there. The budget amendment has to do with the treatment plant. It's money, it's just putting it in the lines that USDA wants it to show on our budget. The money was already in there. It was already budgeted. We're just switching some lines to satisfy their requirements. Now the community input. If anybody has input, we'll take a sort of a pause now because there's the delay in the feed. Give everybody a chance to call in at 734-848-6495. That line is being monitored. And anybody from the community that wants to weigh in, tell us how we're doing or what you think of us or whatever you want. This is your time.
I have a question as long as we're waiting.
What is it?
Do we have any idea if we're going to have trick-or-treating this year? I mean,
I don't know.
Has anybody given it any thought or?
Oh, plenty of thought, but I've not made a decision on it yet. We will go through probably and look at recommendations. This will probably be a group decision, and we will probably model what other communities are doing. We don't have to follow everything, but it's better when everybody's on the same page. And we will make a sound decision for that, but not yet.
Okay. Just curious.
Yep. It's a great question. The treatment plant is, I will say, moving along nicely. They're doing some final inspections scheduled for early next week when everything should be in place. We're still working on the steps, but it should be done.
City of Luna Pier.
And sounds like we have a call.
Okay, question? Okay, I will tell them that. And your name is, what's your
Well,
name?
And per the open meetings, we really don't have to. They can give their name if they want to, but they don't have to give a name.
Uh-huh.
That is
All right.
an open meeting.
But Jim,
Yes.
I just got a call from William Gardner, and he just wanted to say to John Zarb, great job and thanks for doing this for our community.
Thank you. We appreciate that call. I agree. It is fantastic. And I think now we'll go to work and get the absolute most we can out of that money. We're not going to spend it just in a way just to spend it. We're going to get the most we can out of it. Really looking forward to that. I'll give a few more minutes here. And it's good to know we have people watching out there. And if you miss this call City Hall anytime. I try to keep just an open line of communication. So I'm not afraid to field questions, awkward questions, anything that's on your mind. At this time, hearing no more response, I think we'll move on to council action. The Mid-American Dike repair. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion. I propose a motion to approve the Mid-America Dike repair for up to $10,000 as presented.
Support.
I will second it. Oh,
Thank you, Councilman Anstad, and I think we have support for Councilman Wakeman, who jumped in just ahead of the buzzer there. Any discussion? If not, let's do a roll call vote.
Okay, Wakeman,
Yes.
Ramza,
yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Anstett,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Mayor Gardner.
Yes. Motion carried. Resignation of Gary Walton from the Planning Commission and EDC. Do we have a motion?
I will make the motion. We approve with regret the resignation of Gary Walton from the Planning Commission and the EDC effective immediately as presented and waive the reading.
Or.
We have a motion from Councilwoman Gramza, a support from Councilman Russell. Any discussion on that? If not, let's unmute and do a all in favor. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. We accept the resignation with regret from Gary Walton and thank him for the job he's done in the past. He's worked a long time on that with those committees. Budget amendment. Do we have a motion to approve the budget amendment?
I'll make a motion to approve the budget amendment as presented and waive the reading.
I'll support it.
Okay, sounds like Councilman Wakeman with the motion and Councilwoman Gramza with the support. Any discussion? If not, let's go to a roll call vote.
Meadows,
Yes.
Anstett,
Yes.
Wakeman,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Gramza,
Yes.
Mayor Gardner.
Yes. Motion carried. Council input and information. Does anybody want to say before we wrap things up? I'd again like to thank John and Chief Ansel and Jolene. It's really and Chief deny us. It's really a lot of, it's a group effort to get the information, get things on time. And it's just, this is a great result. I think just kind of unheard of. And I'm just proud of our city and proud of the way we all came together in this really hard time. And that's what's going to carry us through. And that's why we're going to be on the winning side of this when we emerge from the other side, out the other side.
Congratulations, all of them.
Yes. And Assistant Chief Welton too. No, don't want to forget him. Any other council input or information? If not, we'll move on to correspondence received and sent, which is none. And general information, Monday, September 7th, City Hall is closed. Future meeting dates, the meetings. We are going to try to, any meetings, we will comply with the governor's order. We'll have meetings if we can, and if it's practical, if we're below our number of 10 and everyone's spaced appropriately on the schedule as a Parks and Recreation meeting at Water Tower Park. That it will be an online meeting if we have it. FET meeting Tuesday, September 18th. That may be online. The DDA is scheduled for Wednesday, September 16th. And that may go online. Tuesday, or the Planning Commission, Tuesday, September 22nd, 4 p.m. at City Hall, or that could possibly go online. City Council meeting, the next one is scheduled for September 10th, 2020 at Water Tower Park, but that's probably not going to happen. It will be online also. With that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
We had support, and I didn't catch who that was.
Councilman Wakeman was support.
Okay, Councilman Wakeman's support of Councilman Graham says motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Being
Okay.